So, you're going to Halloween time at Disneyland Resort 2023. Woo! Congratulations. There are a few things you may want to know. We're going over a comprehensive guide of how you can get the most out of your day ticket during Halloween time at the Disneyland Resort. Now, this will not be covering Oogie Boogie Bash in detail. This is going to be giving you tips of where the Halloween decor is, where the characters are, how you can get your popcorn buckets, and what rides you need to ride and when you should ride them. Buckets, the sipper mugs, everything that comes into the park for Halloween, how to get it, where to do it, when to do it. It's going to be going down right now, so make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate you if you already have. And let's get into this guide. First up, we got ride closures. There are going to be two ride closures. One's currently closed, and that's the Golden Zephyr over in DCA, California Adventure. That will be closed until 9/28/2023, September 28, 2023. Golden Zephyr reopens. Now, the second closure is a little sad one. Space Mountain will be closing starting 9/18/2023 with a TBA date. We don't have a date of reopening yet, which is unfortunate because we're heading into the Halloween season. A lot of people are going to be here, but they're probably going to get the ride ready for Christmas season. That way they don't have any ride delays, mechanical issues. Got to crank that out now before the big crowds come, So ride closures, that's it. Only two things, Space Mountain and Golden Zephyr. But Golden Zephyr will be opening by the end of the month. You got 5 days left to ride Space Mountain, folks. I'm sorry to say it. Moving on after those rides, well, you're coming to the Disneyland Resort. You're going to want to see the decor. You're going to want to see the characters in their cool little costumes. And there's no better place to do that than Main Street, USA, or Buena Vista Street in California Adventure. You got two parks, two main streets. Both of those main streets are going to have your main decor, your main Halloween merch, your Halloween costume, character meet and greets. Everything like that is going to be found on these main streets in both parks. Now, in DCA, they do have Radiator Springs, which gets its own overlay of Halloween decor. You get Halloween cars and costumes. It's really fun to see, really cool, and it has its own Halloween version of the Shaboom light show. When the lights turn on, like in the movie, they do a Halloween version. It's really spooky and fun. The car characters are in cool little costumes. The red, the fire truck, they dress them up as a clown. It's really fun. So make sure you head to those three areas, Main Street, Buena Vista Street, and Cars Land. And you're going to have a fun time looking at the decor, all of the characters and their costumes. There's so much to see. Make sure you take a minute to just take in the Halloween decorations. There are so many of them. There's so many of these little pumpkins on Main Street to find and look at. It's really fun. This next part's pretty important. It's the fireworks show schedule. Now, fireworks are only going to be shown on Friday nights, Saturday nights, and Sunday nights at 9:30 p.m. at the Disneyland Resort. That's right, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. If you're visiting on a weekday, you're going to have the projection show on the buildings, the same show that is shown during the fireworks, but you're not going to have the fireworks in the sky. You're only going to have those projections on the building. You have to be there on a Friday night, a Saturday night, or a Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. to view the fireworks live. Now, moving on to rides, there are two rides that get Halloween overlays at the Disneyland Resort. Well, I could say three if you're including Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. They do put a different skin on that as well. But I'm mostly talking about Haunted Mansion Holiday and Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, Monsters After Dark. That's right, Monsters After Dark. If you're trying to experience both of these attractions in one day, you are going to need some planning. Now, for Mission Breakout, the ride doesn't become scary until 3 p.m. That's correct. It doesn't become Monsters After Dark until 3 p.m. in the park. Now, keep this in mind. The park does close early at 6 p.m. on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays, and on Halloween night in order to host Oogie Boogie Bash. So if you do have a normal ticket and you will be there on those dates, a Tuesday, Thursday, or Sunday, or Halloween, you have to make sure you're in the park in DCA, Disney's California Adventure, between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. in order to ride Monsters After Dark Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. It's a very fun ride. It is very much worth the wait. A lightning lane is hard to come by, so if you are trying to get a lightning lane for this ride, get to the park early in the morning, scan in, and look for that lightning lane reservation. Now, Haunted Mansion Holiday isn't as hard to access as Mission Breakout. It is Haunted Mansion Holiday all day. It doesn't have a set time that it changes. So you can walk there in the morning if you're there early enough to walk right onto the ride. I would say the first hour of the park opening is the only time you can do that right now due to the crowds. So if you are rope dropping the ride, you are going to get a pretty decent wait time. You're just going to walk right in, enjoy the ride, and when you come out, there will be a line, but that line will be there all day. There is no beating that line unless you use the Lightning Lane Genie Plus system. You're going to have to wait in that line. So my best tip, of course, and this is probably everyone's best tip, go to the ride as early as possible, or, dare I say, go to the ride as late as possible. That's right. Everyone knows the trade secret of Disneyland. As long as you're in the line by park closing, you get to go on the ride as long as the ride is operating. And while I would say 90% of the time the ride operates. If you didn't get on in the morning, head over there at night. Go in right before closing, 10 minutes before closing. It doesn't have to be the last second. As long as you're in line, you're going to get on that ride. Keep that in mind when you're trying to get on both of these Halloween time rides. Mission Breakout only starts at 3 p.m. That's when it becomes Monsters After Dark, and those dates of Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays, closing the park early at 6 p.m. may affect your chances at experiencing Mission Breakout Monsters After Dark. So make sure you get there early at 3 p.m. if you want the best chance to ride it, or get to the park super early and try to get a Lightning Lane reservation. Those are my two best tips on how to get in there. Now, if you do have the time, I would not say don't wait in the line. I would encourage going on the line because it is a very fun ride to go on. If you haven't been on this ride, go on it. It's quite fun, quite different. It's great. It's great. It's great. It's Halloween. It's great. Let's head into some of the merchandise. Well, more specifically, some of the popcorn buckets and sippers that I got available right here. And these are available throughout the park. Some of them are going to have lines. Some of them aren't. So, first up in popcorn buckets, we have the 30th anniversary popcorn bucket, and we have the Mayor's Car popcorn bucket. This one was supposedly only available in Walt Disney World at the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, but it is now available at Disneyland. Woohoo! These buckets are very sought after. There are long lines outside the Haunted Mansion popcorn stand. So if you want to avoid those lines, head over to DCA, go over to Hollywoodland, and as soon as you're about to head into Hollywoodland, look to your left-hand side, there's a popcorn stand, and they sell both of these buckets. That's where I got these buckets. I didn't wait in line. I just walked up to the counter, said, "May I get one Mayor and one Zero?" And then she said, "Do you want both popcorns?" I said, "Only one, please." And I took my popcorn, had my popcorn, and I got my buckets. Didn't have to wait in line. A lot of people wait in line. But if you look around, you're going to find these throughout DCA. I know the Hollywood Studio stand right before you go in there. That's where I found this one. But if you go to the opposite side, head over to Soarin'. There's a popcorn stand that was selling them too there. So there's plenty of ways to find your Zero and Mayor popcorn bucket other than going to the Haunted Mansion right outside the ride and waiting in the long line. Save yourself some time and get your popcorn bucket. Now there is a Mickey Skeleton bucket that I have not seen return to the park. It's sold out within the first few days. I didn't get one. I haven't seen them there yet, but we're going to move on to the sippers. Now we got the Donald sipper, and we also have the Mini Winnie sipper. She's right here. Let me grab her. We also have the Mini Winnie. Now this one is more popular than the Donald. You're going to have no trouble finding Donald throughout the resort. Donald sipper is available at a wide variety of walk-up stands, restaurants. I know he's at like award wieners. He's everywhere. I see him everywhere. If you go to any walk-up counter service, Donald will probably be there. I got this one at the Golden Horseshoe. Now, moving on to the Mini Winnie Sipper Cup. This thing is a crowd pleaser. Everybody wants one, but yet no one knows where to find them. And I always say, go to the Hungry Bear. So I got this one at the Hungry Bear. I just walked up there. No one goes to the Hungry Bear, really. It does get its rushes, but no one thinks, oh, let's go to the Hungry Bear to get our sipper mugs. At least I don't think so, because I went to the Hungry Bear, walked up, and I asked him, do you guys still have the Mini Winnie sipper cup? And he said, yes, sir, we do. And I said, may I have one, please? Now, I did the purchase. I went up to the stand, and the guy pulled out a brand new box and started like putting them on the shelf, handed me mine. And while I went back a few days later, they had plenty of them. I took a video of that, put it on my TikTok. There's proof out there that these are easy to get. Don't be fooled. Just go to the Hungry Bear, get yourself a good burger, and get your Mini Winnie. And as my last tip, I would say take advantage of the photo pass opportunities at the parks. They have great pictures. If you want that Mickey jack-o'-lantern pumpkin head photo, I advise you wait in the line. It may look long, but it will move kind of fast. The photo pass people are very good at moving people along. But this will give you an opportunity to have a one-on-one photo with the pumpkin, the Mickey pumpkin, without anyone in your background, without anyone in between you and the pumpkin. It's a very good way to just get, an Instagram photo, a selfie, whatever you want. I would definitely say wait in that line for the best quality picture. Now, if you don't want to wait in the line, just head over to the flagpole in Main Street, right in the center. And if you can walk to the benches right there, and you'll be behind the photo pass people. So you will have some people in your photo, but you won't have to wait in a line for a photo with the jack-o'-lantern Mickey head. So it's really up to you if you want the quality or you want to save the time. It's up to you if you want what you want to do. I recommend just going for quality, waiting in the line, and you'll get both sides of the pumpkin. They'll walk you around. You wait in the line. They say next. You take your picture. They walk you around to the other side because there's a photo pass guy over there too. They say you head on to the next side. Take your picture of both sides of the pumpkin. No one in between you and the pumpkin. No one in your background, foreground, or anything. They do a very good job at keeping people out of their cone of vision. So take advantage of those photo pass opportunities. Both parks have them, and they're very fun to do. Make some, do some spooky poses or something. I don't know.